Hello everybody and welcome back to Assetto Corsa. It's been a while since we've been around the ring. I decided to go do it again, just wanted to go for a drive, and here we are. So this Lamborghini's clearly looking for a playmate, as is that GTR. I give him a couple honks and he definitely starts pulling out of the pits. So we're just going to go out there and see where this car stands. This is my second time out with the car. Like, I did a half a lap prior to this, and just after, I think it's called Flugplatz, the crest that you can easily get air on. I just dipped my back tire off and spun out. So this is my second time attempting a lap here. You can see the Lamborghini just took off. Now there is a white Porsche in the rear view. He must be quick because he's in front of the GTR, who took off right behind me. So that's on my mind immediately. Coming into a very tight section here. We're going to see what happens. He's getting a lot of oversteers getting into that. Looking badass. A bit of lag made it confusing. I just took a racing line. This could easily be perceived as a late move, but so I dipped my wheels off and just let him go. Make sure there's no misunderstanding. I'm not trying to fight you. I know who's faster. So just skipping ahead here, we have our Lamborghini friend pulled over with the hazards on. So he must have gotten a little lonely and decided to wait for some friends to catch up. And the GTR is going to squeak by too. The GTR is right on my tail. Very quick car. I think it can put down faster times. It's a little more challenging. This car's fairly easy to drive once you get used to the engine being in the back. It sits nicely into the corners. So that white Porsche that we let by is up ahead and has a terrible run coming up the hill. It looks like he might have gone into the barrier. We're just going to squeeze by. It's tight, it's dangerous, but, you know, look at that. Not only am I doing it, the GTR and the Lambo are doing it too, and everybody gets by okay. So now we're leading the train. We are leading the train up the hill, and we're going to just skip ahead here to the corner before the carousel, I think. And I just go in full throttle. I don't even lift. Don't even do a little brake check to, you know, distribute my weight to the front. So I eat it. I go flying into the wall. I feel ashamed. The shame is great. So I'm just going to take the outside of the carousel and let our buddies go. Try to. You can see the GTR just files into my blind spot. And I'm driving along here. I don't see that red arrow right away. And I'm thinking, oh, I must have spun out. I don't see him in my mirror. And I noticed the red arrow right about now. I lift at the same time that he backs out of it. Very awkward. So I'm going to accidentally drive wide, but we're just going to keep it out here. I try flashing my lights. I don't know my buttons. I look over my shoulder. There we go. Flash my lights. He sees it. He goes. So a bit of an awkward little section there. Got it out of our system. Comfortable with the car now. We're going to finish the lap for a 727. Nothing special. We're sitting in the pits. Apologize to the GTR for the sloppy driving. And then I see another Porsche 911 GT3 RS, so we have to go. We just have to. For this, it's either gonna, you know, we're gonna grow from the experience. He's in the same car. We're either gonna see where we're strong or where we're not strong, and then we'll be able to drive better. He's just gonna let me go. Doesn't care that I want to make content, so we're just gonna go out in front. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Either he's gonna be faster and I can let him by, or I will be faster and in control, and I can let him by if I want. Coming into turn 2 or 3, there's our Lambo friend again, just pulled over. Bit of a yellow flag, so we slow down through there. Meeting our apex nicely here, right up against the wall and driving wide. Form a tiny bit of a gap between our friend and the other car, and we sort of maintain that gap. Coming up to a very dangerous section here, easy to drive wide over the crest when your car gets light and go wide, just like that Toyota GT86 did. We're going to have to brake up a little bit extra, more than we want, take the inside, just to let the GTR, oh my god, not the GTR, the 86 slide across the track. That is something I've seen so many times. You have no grip once you oversteer into, or understeer into the grass, and then you slide across the track. So you got to watch for that. So we got our 911 GT3 RS in the rearview mirror now. Same, a little closer than before. We're just going to let him go. I'm going to stick to the outside here, try giving him a flash. Still don't know my buttons. Do a couple shoulder checks first. He's going to not only go, but get on a sweet power slide. Tokyo drifting out of there. So now we got a bit of a gap to close. He's clearly got control. Traction's off for both of us, I would say. And let's see what we can make of it. We got another Porsche into the wall here. We're just going to squeak by there. Totally ignoring the speed limit. It's not actually in the sim, so you don't really have to pay any attention. Coming through the carousel quite nicely, the both of us, and we got a bit of traffic up ahead. We'll see if we can't catch up. We are making good time. We've got a Porsche Yellowbird up ahead. A roof? A rough? I still don't know. Somebody let me know. Is it roof or rough? And we got someone off the track. No big deal. I almost go off the track. And is that a Supra? We got a Supra up ahead. Mach 4 Supra. Time attack. Leading the way here. So we're going to come through the almost flat out section here, very fast section. The Supra's off the track. The Porsche the Yellowbird's gonna get caught up with him, and me and my GT3 RS friend are gonna squeak by just fine. Finishing off the lap, we're just gonna try and get a run down this corner here. If you hit it just right, you can carry so much more speed, and you can see we're not only closing the gap, we're catching up, but the gantry's so close we're not gonna make it. Not even gonna get a nose beside him. But that was a fun lap, so we're gonna jump back to the pits. Excuse me. And let's see here. I think I just said great lap. Yeah, great. I'm sure you could have read that. Said a 7:25, so we shaved a couple seconds off there, and a tenth maybe. And we're just gonna jump back to the pits. Wait for our buddy, and there he is. He looks like he's not AFK anymore, so we're going to go for another lap. And someone down below says those two Porsches were running super close to one another, to each other. So someone was watching. Wow, that's always flattering. I like how some people get a kick out of sitting in the pit. So anyway, this is the full lap. This is me and my friend here and the other Porsche, just trying to send it. You know, just trying to have fun. That's why I love these Nürburgring track day things in Assetto Corsa. There's really no pressure. It's all about the driving. So you meet some really cool drivers around here this way. Closing up that gap around that apex. I'm missing my apex by a couple of foot, but still taking a nice tidy line through there and carrying a lot of speed. Our buddy's getting a little bit of an oversteer on the exit of that corner. I'm taking a bit too much curb, drastically unsettling the car for a moment. We settle it back down. A little bit of brake dab to settle the car in the weight, set the weight forward in the car, giving me that grip I need for that corner. Coming in here, a little premature on the downshift, just a brake dab before I enter, another brake dab mid-corner before the exit of the chicane. Excuse me. And we're coming up to the fun little S's here. Using all that curb, just a brake dab once you're past it. Match your speed perfectly for the corner. Another bit of braking. Second gear's probably not necessary there. Third gear's the way to go. Just get your speed right, and you don't have to worry. And down the straight now. This is the corner where I messed up the first time. You guys didn't see it, but I think this is called Flugplatz, this crest here. So just a little brake dab before. Keep the nose planted. And we're going to come down here. And that's where my back end went out, and then I spun off to the left. But not this time. We're keeping a lot of speed here, getting very close to our friend. I could see him perceiving this as me going for a pass, so we're just going to file in behind. I don't want to pass just yet. I want to follow for a change. And maybe I can learn something this way. So coming over this crest here, just a bit of braking to make sure that the front end doesn't get too light. Keep that grip up front. Meeting that braking point just as the pavement color changes back there. And patiently waiting in third gear to extend to the curb. Come back to the middle of the road, and then we're just going to hit that nice left curb, back to the right curb, back to the left curb. Camber the road sort of helps you through there. Another curb, you want to stay to the inside here, extend to the out, brake up the hill, come across, use all that curb and the grass evidently. Come back to the right, maybe hit that curb, extend straight through. You can hit that curb if you want, but it's best to extend to the right of the track, which I'm not doing on this occasion. And then try not to Tokyo drift around, use the curb on the exit, and power through. A little tricky section coming up ahead here. I'm going to see if I can break it down for you as best as possible. There's going to be a kink in the road. You want to hit that little kink, extend all the way to the right, use it as a braking point, come back, meet the apex, which was that white graffiti back there. Graffiti is quite convenient for braking points and stuff. It's almost like people crash and then go out onto the track and mark, this is my braking point for the future. Little white tab on the inside there, left side there to mark your turn in, and a little white tab on the right side curb to mark your apex. Another convenient bit of graffiti on the track. Coming around here, the camber of the road, we talked about it before, just keep fourth gear, kind of chill. Then you can power out, hit a nice little braking point here, come back. I really don't know this section. We're going to go for the third apex this time. Power down the hill, big braking point here, downshift to third, get back on the throttle, then brake again, downshift to second, meet the apex just after the white graffiti there. Maybe the yellow graffiti is the apex. And extend to the outside with an early shift, short shifting to make sure we can control the back end. Waiting for the curb on the right side to straighten and sending it up the inside. Didn't really intend for that to happen. Maybe our friend in the orange Porsche let it happen. But really coming out of nowhere there. So now we're going to power up the hill and and I believe we're going to have a flat-out left-hander up ahead. Just staying all the way to the right. Going to come across, try and meet that curve, extend to the middle of the road, come back, brake just before the hazard sign. This is where the F1 driver died when they drove the full Nordschleife. So very dangerous corner because you're going from flat-out to heavy braking after a kink. So if you don't have your car settled, you're in big trouble. Anyway. Powering up the hill here, there's one curb, another curb, which you could meet if you wanted. The third curb's the most important. Extend to the right, flat out to the left. We're going to have some slow traffic here. Had slow traffic here before, and it was quite a nuisance. But this car is no problem. He sees it coming, and he just lets it happen. So you can pass here. This is not a dangerous place to pass, especially if everybody knows what they're doing. Extend to the curb here, using it as a braking zone, coming across mid-fourth gear in this car. Extending up the road. We're going to brake at the top of the hill here to transfer our weight to the front so we don't run wide like a Muppet like we did on our first lap. I put in air quotes. Braking at the curb on the left-hand side there. Maybe a little premature. You might be able to push that a little bit if you dare. Coming around here nicely. We're going to power up the hill now. Going to try and remember my braking point. I think it's the last tree here on the left side is my braking point for the carousel. Second gear, try and get it to 80 kilometers an hour. That seems to be the sweet spot for most cars for the carousel. Some cars can do it at 100, but most cars 80 is a good spot. Coming up here, we're going to stay to the right of this curb here, turn in at the very end of it, try and coast across, back on the power. Smallest dab of brakes here, turning in at the end of the curb, and then we can brake again, downshift, extend with more power, braking at the top of the crest here, orange barrier on the right side. Any later and you're fighting gravity over past the crest, and it's very easy to lose the back end. Coming down the hill here, staying to the left, back to the right for the curb. A little bit of brake, downshift, back to the left. We're going to use all the curb on the left side. Sets us up to use all the curb on the right side. Extend out to the left. Try not to take the grass like I did. Braking up the hill, coming across. Too much grass again, but extending all the way outside to the double curb there. You can see there was some curb, and then they added some more curb at a later time. Use it. Using all the curb here, braking, turning in just after the green checker on the curb on the right side. You might have seen it. Extending, using all the curb here, then braking at the very end, using the camber of YouTube corner to your advantage. Extending, coming back to the right, little brake check, low third gear, come across. We're going to extend all the way to the right and use all the curb. Coming back across, that sets us up for a pretty good line. Usually you don't unsettle the car that bad. Didn't take it very well this time. Coming down here, meet the right curb straight across. We're going to brake after the crest. You don't have to, but, you know, I'm trying to flex on my boy here. So I'm running a little bit wide. A little embarrassed. We're just going to let him go now. It's his turn to take the lead, I think. We had some good fun there. Once I start driving sloppy, I feel like I don't deserve the lead, so we're going to let our boy go. He's going to meet a bit too much curb, a bit of drama, but he's going to collect it nicely. No big deal for an experienced driver, clearly. Going to come up here, braking just at the orange barrier on the right side, the orange tip of the barrier. Coming around here, hugging the curb, a little bit of gas, then downshifting to third, turning in, aiming for after the big tall pine tree, extending, using all the curb, getting back there. You should be able to take the mini carousel in third gear. It's very misleading. You feel like you have to take it slower than you actually do. Extending up here, we're going to brake, try and meet that apex on the right side, extend, bit of slop there. Maybe third gear wasn't necessary. Also didn't go wide enough, so I'm not going to have a very good run down here. But we're about as close as we were when we started the lap. So that's another bridge to gantry lap. We're going to be within a couple seconds, a second of each other, maybe 2 tenths or something. And yeah, you guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoy that. Have a great day. Bye-bye.